We're underway here at Leeds Sports Village. Sweden against Belgium, the third quarter-final of this Women's Euros 2022. We know that England and Germany are through. Today, it is Sweden or Belgium, and the winners of this one will play England at Sheffield United's Bramall Lane ground on Tuesday night. The next quarter-final, which will be live on 5 Live Sports tomorrow. Another tasty one, Netherlands against France. And so we are expecting a sort of a defensive masterclass, or that's what they'll be hoping for anyway from Belgium, as Filtons just about gets there. They're playing at left back today. And the ball is out of play on this near side for a throw-in to Belgium, who are going to have to be patient without the ball. They're not going to see an awful lot of it. They're going to have to stick to their tactical game plan. And they've shown already this tournament that they're very capable of doing so. A free kick given against Minnaert of Belgium to Sweden for a handball just inside the Swedish half.
Yep, Robin, I can already see them set up in a 4-4-2 Belgium, which is somewhat different to what they've played so far in this tournament. Dehaene supporting Woolard up there. Dehaene not with much pace at all, but she's got technical ability. Belgium just setting up in 2 banks of 4, which is clearly what their manager believes is the best way to stifle Sweden. We'll see how that works, but you're right, they're going to have to defend for their lives today.
Slick surface here at Leeds Sports Village, the home of Manchester United women. More of a rugby league town, this one. Ball down the line on this near side, and it's picked up by Minnaert. This could be an opening here, driving at the Swedish defence. Maybe one touch too many, needs some support now. Still got it, Minnaert on the edge of the penalty area, turns back inside. Filtons has made the run, back to Minnaert, left side the penalty area, gets the cross in. Eriksson is there to back heel it away from goal. Really promising chance that for Belgium. And Sweden bring it away with Rolfert, who finds Blackstenius, who's making the run. And this is where Belgium could be caught out, but a good, well-timed challenge there from De Lauser. Coming at right back and out of play for a Swedish throw over on the far side, midway through the Belgian half.
Yeah, break there from down this left-hand side for Belgium by Minnaert. She's a player who looks to me by the eye over 6 foot, tall. She stretched her legs early on in the game and she didn't have anyone in support with her. That just goes to show already how Belgium are already camped. But risky game for Belgium on the counter-attack. Keep the ball, because if they don't, it then becomes exactly what Sweden want, which is transition, spacing behind for Blackstenius, Rolfo.
0-0 between Sweden and Belgium. You know, I'm not one for hyperbole, is he? But the Belgian side, I mean, some of them look like 9 feet tall. I mean, everyone looks tall to me, but I mean, that could really play an advantage. Basically everyone. What was really funny is, you know, when they line up for the national anthems and the camera pans to each face, and there's just Filtons, who is about 2 feet smaller than everyone else in the team. They had to take a sharp dip, the camera, to get her in.
Yeah. Well, after seeing her play so far this tournament, Filtons, she's small in size but big in heart and desire. She's been very, very impressive, especially in the last game against Italy at left back. She was one of their best players, Belgium. I was really, really impressed with her defending front foot and also her ability to keep the ball under pressure.
Sweden have it inside the Belgian half. Swing and a miss from Biesmans, and here's Kosovari Aslani sliding it through towards the byline. Well read and put out of play by Deneve.
That combination between Aslani and Rittenkanerid down here on the right-hand side for Sweden was so effective in the previous game against Portugal. I think that was what won them the game, in fact, just that combination, and she's really earned her spot. Rittenkanerid on that right-hand side, she's keeping Hurtig out of the team, who offers something much different. And if Peter Gerhardsen, ever wanted to match Belgium for height on set pieces, he could bring Lena Hurtig on the pitch.
Very true. That was a delightful touch just before from Kanerid, but the wet surface just took it away from her. But you can see she's got an enormous amount of talent. Missed out on the previous tournament, the Olympic Games, and that was when Sweden lost in the final on penalties to Canada. They beat England in the third place playoff match at the World Cup, so bronze, silver, and they're hoping to go one better, hoping to Goldilocks this situation, is it, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely, Robin. Yeah, I don't think they'll settle for anything less than that. But as I've said on a number of occasions, Sweden really need to up their game if they want to get that goal.
Angeldal takes aim. The first save of the evening from Everard, stretching to her left-hand side. Just opened up for Angeldal, almost Georgia Stanway-esque. They were backing off her, she took shot. And a decent save from Everard in tricky conditions today.
Yeah, that's an excellent strike on the move from Angeldal. Yes, like you say, I was thinking of that as soon as she hit it, Georgia Stanway-esque. Good save.
Didn't hit the net though, like our Georgia. Just going to brush over that for now. Corner kick though for Sweden. No side scored from more set pieces than Sweden during this tournament. Left-footed, it's deep, it's nodded towards goal. Belgium getting first and second contact, and again, Angeldal gets her foot to it on the volley, spins high and wide.
Yeah, it's Angeldal again on that second phase. Sweden set their corners and set pieces up, not always to win the first, but to be there for the seconds. It is an art. It's the next phase of set piece play, in my opinion, in the evolution of football. It's the second phase, and Angeldal, she scored from it against Portugal in the previous game.
Belgium working the goal kick short and doing well with it. Eventually they pull it long. That's a delightful touch from Woolart to Kaiman, over the top for the run of Minnaert. It's worked back to goalkeeper Hedvig Lindahl, winning her 188th cap today. The most capped Swedish goalkeeper, male or female. What a servant she's been. 2 silver medals in World Cups and Olympic Games. Desperate to get a title under her belt before retirement, although don't want to retire her yet, 39 years old. Belgium swing the cross in, under no pressure at all over on that far side, and Sweden do defend the ball into the box. Belgium with a bit of possession here with Van Havermaet. Over to the far side, and Kaiman helps it on. Again, cross comes in, it's deflected. Corner kick.
Very good. Very good indeed from Belgium, taking the game to Sweden. Belgium manager will be delighted with that bit of link-up play between Woolart and De Heine, as that front two for Belgium, linking up really well, isolating Natalie Bjorn in that defensive midfield role for Sweden. Combination play in the forward run came from Minnaert. But yeah, resulting corner, but good spell for Belgium, good bit of possession.
It's going to be taken by De Neve, who's playing at centre-half today. Plenty of height in the box, but Sweden aren't exactly lacking in that department either. Here it comes towards the 6-yard box. Oh, the goalkeeper came, Lindahl didn't get there. It's going to be picked up, retrieved on this near side, the left foot, Kaiman. And Canarid does really well to shepherd that out of play, relieves the pressure, and a goal kick for Sweden.
Yeah, what I would say about that combination between De Heine and Woolart is, if that works, they get Kaiman in behind, and in my opinion, she's a stronger forward runner than Minnaert. If Kaiman's on the end of that third woman run, sorry, said that so many times this tournament.
I think we'll allow it.
We will allow it, yeah.
Isn't it?
There's not a phrase for it, but you know, yeah, if they can get Kaiman in off the back of that, happy days for Belgium.
Sweden 0, Belgium 0. On BBC Radio 5 Live, 9 minutes played here at Leeds Sports Village. Sweden, second in the world, kicking from left to right, as we look down from our commentary position this evening. They're trying to work some territory on this near side with a couple of throw-ins. It's picked up by the Belgian manager, Yves Senils, who's been with the team since March 2011. Wonderful scenes when they learnt of the other scoreline in Group D, which meant that they were through to the knockout stages for the first time in their history.
Coach Senils will be delighted with this outcome so far for Belgium in this tournament. Like you say, Robin, since 2011 he's been in post, and I know very good friends with Janice Kaiman on this Belgian team, and I know how much it means to her, the project and the progress that they've made under him, and to see them in this situation. They're in here but not by default, but by desire, and years of work. And on the back of that, I would say also progress from that group due to Italy being so poor throughout the tournament as well.
Yeah, they were certainly one of the most underwhelming sides of the tournament, but again, it's important to put in context that most of these Belgian players are part-time. A lot of them have other jobs. My favourite's the goalkeeper, Nikki Everard. Do you know what she does?
I did, because I got sent a little bit of info from the producer. Got to my phone after training and I had to read it a few times to check it was real. But it was so interesting. I'll let you share it, Robin.
I had it verified because I was like, what? She rents out bouncy castles. Now, I can't think of a more fun side hustle than that.
I honestly think that's amazing.
Fantastic stuff. They've lost it in a dangerous area, Belgium. It's pulled back. This could be a chance. Angeldal leaning back. She had a free hit on that. Not sure she lost her footing, but it's well over the top.
Should have scored. Should have scored. Philippa Angeldal. Yeah, it's a gift for Sweden on the edge of the box. Cut back. Yeah, and that, I mean, come on. As a midfielder, that is on a plate. A player of her level, she knows it. Her reaction says everything. She knows it. There'll be another one, though.
That was Izzy Christensen range for sure. Lacked composure.
Me.
I've seen you put them away from that position many a time. De Kuyman, very deep. Helping out the defence. Van Havermaet spreads it out to the far side, to the right back De Losa. Not really being closed down, but lacking options. Goes down the line. That's some neat footwork from Biesmans. Now here's Filtons on this near side, the left. Bullard, who's got the captain's armband, a luminous green, around her left arm. Some nice rotation coming in from Belgium. Give and go from Biesmans, but a little bit too much on that, but Kannerid will clear up for Sweden. Filtons had made the run ahead, cleared by Lindahl. Aslani with a little flick onto Blackstenius, who is barged into by Van Havermaet, but Sweden have possession on the far side and they will start again. The stand-in left-back, Nilden, in for Jonna Andersson, who has tested positive for COVID. And as mentioned in the build-up, Nilden of Juventus, only her fourth appearance, her first competitive appearance. That is a great challenge from Biesmans. Clean, took it away from Aslani, but the pass back to her from Cayman. A little bit too in front of her. And it's out for a throw-in to Sweden. It seems like, because it's been raining here in Manchester for quite some time now, the surfaces, I mean, they've been good this year, but this seems quite different, doesn't it, than what we've seen?
Well, given the heat wave that we've experienced, pitches, I mean, they do get watered, but
yeah,
sprinklers have been on, and obviously it's drizzling. It's that wet rain, as we like to call it. Sounds so silly saying that, but it is. Yeah, and the players, I mean, listen, if I'm being super critical, use the warm-up, you know, judge it, judge the weight of the passes that you need to play. But yeah, once you get into match tempo, it changes. But from a Belgian perspective, you know, they need to keep the ball when they win it back. They've been so good in terms of keeping their shape so far.
Well, cross comes in, it's a good one. Oh, what a save from Everard! And there's a real bundle in there. Claims for a penalty. Eventually Everard gathers, but what a save that was. Absolutely incredible. It was Ilestedt with a header on goal. Clean header. Reaction save, like a cat away to her right-hand side. Belgium survived.
That was absolutely fantastic from Sweden. I think it was Natalie Bjorn with the ball in to the back post, and obviously we've spoken about this height mismatch at the back for Filtons, the full-back, left-back of Belgium, you know, getting out-jumped at the back stick. But that is a world-class save from Everard in the net, and I'm not surprised. Her form this tournament has been superb, and she's kept her side in it. Well, in it, she's kept her side at 0-0 for now with that superb save.
One of 12 players in this Belgian squad that play domestically in the semi-professional Belgian league. And maybe she won't be renting out bouncy castles in her spare time for long.
Well, I wonder if business will be bouncing after this tournament.
Oh.
So much fun, aren't they, by the way?
Oh, amazing.
I feel like they probably wouldn't be in our contracts.
Is it in your contract, no bouncy castles? Because you're not allowed to ski and things like that, are you?
Yeah, it's not.
Deep cross from Belgium, but it hits the roof of the net. Hedvig Lindahl saw that all the way. This is another point of this tournament. obviously, you hope there's scouting departments that do a bit more research than just watching a tournament. But if you have a good one, put yourself in the shop window.
Well, yeah, we've seen it with the Northern Ireland girls. Obviously, fail to remember at times the part-time status. We're so lucky. Obviously, the league that we play in here in England, the WSL, is full-time. We're professionals. It's our, it's our day jobs. And obviously, like you say, Robin, some of these Belgian players, it's not their full-time job. But yeah, play well, and I have no doubt with the way the game is evolving that players that have got this sort of experience under their belts could get some good moves.
Well, Julie Beesmans has been booked for a pretty blatant shirt pull on Aslani as she turned away from a couple of defenders. So I imagine they'll share those out if they get caught again. Free kick, midway inside the Belgian half, swung in, won by Rolfert, and it's cleared over to the far side. Cleared out of play. Oh, it's going to be kept in play actually over on the far side. Nilden. Every single outfield player inside the Belgian half. And the cross is a poor one, straight into the arms of Nikki Everard. The grey goalkeeping gear, left-footed. She pumps it over the halfway line. It's won by Magdalena Eriksson, Chelsea captain, who's received a bit of criticism for her performances for Sweden during this tournament.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, it's been a long season. She was out for a little bit, I think, with Chelsea through injury. Came back, and sometimes it takes a bit of time to get yourself back up to where you were before you did get injured. But she is a player. I guess if you did take her out of this team, the level might drop a little bit. I'm not sure, because she's not playing at 100%. Her leadership and instruction to her teammates is valuable.
Aslani, give and go with Canarid. Sends her a bit wide. Corner flag. Oh, she's chipped away. Lovely bit of skill. Sack came and down on her bum.
That was ridiculous from Aslani, by the way. A note, by the way, about Aslani, Pat Nevin's favourite player.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? Like he's made a great call. She's superb. Last game against Portugal, she was outstanding. I sent her a message, and I just said, like, you're outstanding. And she's not young either. She's playing at this level. Good on her.
Angeldal, space opening up for her again, and that is another very wayward shot from Angeldal. Scored twice against Portugal, with a couple of opportunities on the edge of the area, and that was nearly hit the corner flag. It was so wide.
She's confident though, isn't she? She's taking that on from that situation, edge of the box. Didn't really see any passes on, so just decided to strike. Complete miscue, but take it on in the first place. Definitely a player who scored in the last game.
There's a football at Manchester City. Didn't get a lot of game time in the WSL. Hope for more for a good tournament showing. Here's Kaiman. Wins the header on the edge of the penalty area, and it's picked up by Hedvig Lindahl. Let's get an update from the cricket and the Old Royds at Old Trafford.
South Africa 55 for 5. The target is 202 in 29 overs. We've had 13 overs. England desperate to get to 20 overs because that would constitute a game, and that would mean that they are way ahead on Duckworth, Lewis, Stern at the moment. So if England can get through their overs, and they're using their spinners at the moment very cleverly, they lost 4 wickets for no runs in 10 balls, don't forget, South Africa. But Adil Rashid, Moeen Ali trying to keep everything going, and we have got drizzle at the moment, so it's a battle against the weather here at Old Trafford.
And the Old Droid, you can listen to commentary on that on 5 Live Sports Extra as Belgium pass it around the back after repelling another potential Sweden attack. Let's head to Dave Woods, who's watching Warrington against Hull KR.
16 minutes played here. Warrington leading 8 points to 0. They've been utterly dominant. Ratchford with a penalty after 7 minutes, and a wonderful break from Darryl Clark, finished from 40 yards by Jake Wardle a moment ago, which Ratchford has converted. Warrington 8, Hull Kingston Rovers 0.
Sweden 0, Belgium 0, approaching the 20th minute here. This quarter-final of the Women's European Championships, and it's safe to say, although it's the Sweden fans who are making the most noise, Belgium's manager is applauding absolutely everything they're doing. He is more than satisfied with the start they have made to this game. They've had a couple of scares, a couple of very good saves from their goalkeeper, but overall looked fairly comfortable.
Yeah. Belgian manager will be absolutely delighted with the way this team is applying the game plan that he set. It's really interesting the way he thinks the 4-4-2 is the best way to stifle and to get at Sweden at the same time. Listen, it's knockout football now. They've got to do something to try and win the game as well as keep Sweden out. And I do think it's really smart, this system working so far.
Willard challenged. Some pretty robust sliding tackles coming in. Blackstenius misjudges the layoff to Rolfo. It's hit up in the air by Van Havermaet for Belgium, and the decision is given against Kaiman. The challenge on Sembrand to Sweden. Free kick just inside the Swedish half, but you can see over the far side the Swedish fans are absolutely bouncing. Here, Sweden and Netherlands have the most colourful, vibrant support. We're desperate for their side to continue, and if you haven't seen it already, there's a fantastic piece on the BBC Sport website about the invasion of the Netherlands and Sweden supporters of Lee, usually a rugby league town, basically not understanding what on earth is going on with these people. They're making a whole lot of noise, and, but overall, apart from a strange bit of detail about the noise a bunting makes, which really confused me, I think they've been a welcome presence in the city.
Absolutely. It's a typically known rugby league town, isn't it? To suddenly have an invasion of fans in colours, it must be quite, you know, throwing for the locals, but I'm sure they've clung on now to what's going on. And hopefully they're embracing it, and hopefully some of them in the stands tonight.
Aslani trying to slide it down the line for Kannerud, who cuts inside and wins the corner. A corner kick for Sweden on this near side, the right. Belgium with more defending to do. Sweden 0, Belgium 0. We'll listen to BBC Radio 5 Live. It was Biesmans who was in the challenge with Kannerud. Biesmans has been booked already. And actually, on the replay we've seen, that should have been a goal kick. But, you know, can't get them all right, and we certainly don't want VAR intervening those sorts of situations. So it's Nilden, the left back, who is over this corner kick on this near side in front of another throng of Swedish fans, holding up the name of Sager, who was on the bench, record caps holder. It's another deep cross towards the back post, and it's 1 second contact again from Sweden, put over the top by Natalie Bjorn. Again, seem like every time they take a shot, they're not quite on balance, are they?
Yeah, Natalie Bjorn, I think she had more time than she thought on that. It's on the second phase. She won the first contact, it ricocheted back into her path. Yeah, I guess she was off balance, she was moving backwards, but again, that's one of those that you work and you practice for inside the box. Keep it on target, keep it low, whatever. Anything can happen.
Midway through the first half, still goalless here at Lee Sports Village. Willard holds it up well, lays it off to the far side to Kaiman, striding forward, and now further over to the far side. Delosa, picked up by Kaiman, rides the challenge, is still going, left-footed, swings the cross in, well defended by Ilestedt at the back post for Sweden. Biesmans left-footed straight to Hedvig Lindahl, who immediately tries to get it upfield towards Blackstenius, who'd made the run. And it's picked up by Aslani, who slides a beautiful ball through to Blackstenius. She's through on goal. Stina Blackstenius for Sweden! 1-0! Beautiful play. Fantastic through ball from Aslani, and a cool finish from Stina Blackstenius. Sweden 1, Belgium 0.
Yeah, transitional moment. Belgium did so well to work the cross. Lindahl comes and claims it, kicks it long up to Blackstenius. Second phase, Aslani, that player we keep talking about, she is the heartbeat of this Swedish team. Picks up the second ball and just finds the recycled run from Blackstenius, who spins in to get herself back on side and spins back out. But that connection between the two of them is world class. Blackstenius has just got the pace to get past each Belgian defender, and I have no doubt in that position she was going to slot it home to the keeper's left. Beautiful finish, and wow, really, really high level goal from Sweden, and that's what they look for, Robin, those little moments to just get them while they're down, and great goal.
Not kicking off yet because it is being checked for potential offside. I think Blackstenius did really well to get back on side, but it looked very tight on the replay. It depends also when they pause it. So referee today, Katerina Monzel of Ukraine, is in deep conversation with her earpiece with the VAR, Maurizio Mariani of Italy. And just having another look at this still image, that is very, very difficult to call. And the goal has been ruled out. There we go, offside.
Really?
It looked very, very tight indeed, but it's been ruled out. So 0-0 it is.
Gosh, I'd like to see that again from another angle, but I mean, VAR, that's what it's there for. It looked to me, the angle's on the grass, and the last Belgian defender, it looked to me like she was at least a yard onside. But like I said, that could have been the angle of the television, the way we were looking at it. Bit of a blow for Sweden there.
A big boost for Belgium, who got away with one there. Let's head to Old Trafford. Wicket at the cricket and Oldroyd.
Yep, South Africa have lost their 6th wicket. They're 66 for 6 now. Henrik Klaasen, the man out, stumped brilliantly by Jos Buttler off the bowling of Moeen Ali for 33. I mean, he was miles out of his ground, Henrik Klaasen. Buttler having a good day today after he also delivered the most astonishing bit of fielding to run out Aiden Markram for a duck. That was the 4th wicket in 10 deliveries for no runs. South Africa collapsing from 6 without loss to 6 for 4, 66 for 6. Crucially, overs gone 14.4, so after this one there will be 5 overs left to constitute a result. So even with the rain falling, if England can get to 20 overs bowled, then they will be the winners here. 66 for 6 South Africa, target is 202 and 14.4 overs gone.
You can listen to the dramatic finish on that one, 5 Live Sports Extra. We just saw on the television screens, the monitors we have in front of us, the VAR decision, and we're talking an armpit situation, aren't we, Izzy? We've seen that in the Premier League a number of times, and well, difficult to argue.
Yeah, I mean, such a high-level goal, but yeah, that's what VAR's for. But very, very close indeed.
Belgium survive an almighty scare, 0-0. 28 minutes played here at Leigh Sports Village. Floodlights are on, overcast. Complete change from the weather we experienced earlier on in the week. Here is Angeldal wearing the number 16 for Sweden. Hooks it forward towards Blackstenius. The ball rolls out of play on this near side, and it's a throw to Sweden. And some
Poor from the lineswoman. It was so blatant to be Belgium's throw, and she's given it Sweden's way, but it's really, really poor officiating. It's right in front of her. It's really obvious to see.
You see why Belgium weren't happy with that. Throw to Aslani. Hooks forward on this near side by Ilestedt for Kaneryd to chase, and it's out of play for a goal kick.
Going back to the way that Sweden play, and I don't see them like comparable to the likes of Spain in terms of intricacy passing and, you know, short, sharp play. That they're more so looking for that killer moment, like we've just seen on that disallowed goal. They've got players that can provide beautiful assists and good weights of passing behind for the forwards to chase, but Sweden, that's what they thrive off, the transition and those sporadic moments, and they don't tend to build up and work themselves into a position where they can score. So it's just interesting to see how Belgium are trying to stifle that.
Sweden win it back in a good area. Drive forward to the far side for Elena Rolfer of Barcelona, digs out the cross, but the flag's gone up. It may have just drifted out of play as she crossed it. It's going to be another goal kick for Belgium. Another wicket at the cricket and Oldroyd.
Yeah, Captain Keshav Maharaj is out. Adil Rashid taking the wicket. He was bowled for 1. South Africa now 67 for 7. We've got 15.1 overs on the board out of 29.
Also got rugby league action for you on 5 Live. Dave Woods is watching Warrington against Hull KR. Where we've played 25 minutes, it's Warrington 14, Hulkingster Rovers 6. Joe Wardle with his second try in 4 minutes, extending that Warrington lead and undermining their early dominance. But Ryan Hall with a break down the left with a clever kick back in field, Ben Crooks has just scored, winning the race to the touchdown. Lachlan Coote's got a kick for goal, but Hull KR back with a foothold here. Warrington 14, Hull KR 4.
Sweden 0, Belgium 0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. The Women's Euros coverage. The third quarter-final. And the winners of this one will play England on Tuesday night. Ball over the top for Woolard. Cuts back on her right foot, trying to work the space for the shot. Dekine back to goal, lays it back. It's Van Havermaet! And just wide, skipped wide of the post. What a chance that was for Belgium.
Excellent again from Belgium. This system is working a dream against Sweden's press so far. They cannot get out. Sweden can't get enough players up to the ball, and they're just leaving each Belgian player with loads of time and space. That's a corner, by the way. Another decision from the referee. It's a corner. It's come off Natalie Bjorn's calf. It's a shot that's on target. It's spun away, and it should have been a corner, but it's been given as a goal kick. But I was just watching Angeldal in midfield there. She doesn't know who to pick up. And the spaces are opening right up for Woolard. And I'm going to say it again, it's genius from Sir Niels, the Belgian coach. He's just forcing these Sweden players into places they don't want to be. The indecision is causing mayhem.
Rolfer trying to close down the ball down the far side, but it's put out of play by Case. A couple of step overs over on the far side to the byline for Sweden, but a sliding challenge comes in. Corner kick given over on the far side. Belgium executing their game plan perfectly so far. But we basically saw this yesterday. Germany, Austria. Austria were magnificent and still came out on the losing side just because Germany, well, on paper, just had the better players. I mean, Sweden are touted as favourites. On this evidence, don't think they're near Germany either. Here comes the corner kick, easily defends at the near post for Belgium, and it's put out to the far side to Woolard. He tries to find Filchens, who made a run to the centre circle, but it's cut out well by Bjorn, and Sweden try and get themselves away over on the far side. Aslani, another sliding challenge. Another corner kick over on the far side. 0-0.
Yeah, transitional moments again. Belgium going for the throat on the counter-attack, but losing possession, and that just sets Sweden right up to where they want to be. When you're disjointed and out of shape off a set piece, that's when they get you. Sweden have another corner to capitalise.
Aslani will take this one over on the far side. Headband on. Rainbow-coloured captain's armband. But her left hand in the air, swings it in towards the goalkeeper. That was a very good corner kick. Angeldal's there again. Another shot. She's always there for the rebound. I think this time Everard saved it. Yet another corner for Sweden.
It might have actually been Deleuze off the line. You've seen the keeper Everard giving Deleuze an extravagant high five to say thanks for that. It wasn't going in anyway, to be fair. But another corner for Sweden.
That one was right on top of the keeper. Again towards the near post, flicked on, is it going to be in? What a scramble on the goal line, eventually it falls into the gloves of Everard. Oh, that was proper playground stuff, that. Everyone was taking a swing.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, Blackstenius, she didn't know the ball was coming to her. If she was switched on or whatever, it would have been a tap-in. Again, Everard, no entry.
Here's Minart for Belgium, just turned into the challenge of Bjorn, who won it back nice and clean, and Sweden pump it forward, going a bit more direct. Defended by Belgium, but it's picked up the loose ball once again by Bjorn. Now work to this near side, the right for Aslani, on to Canarid, who's going to have a run at Filtons here. Very tricky winger, meeting Canarid. Drops the shoulder onto her right foot, then a lovely Cruyff turn. Plays it back to Angeldal, well defended by Van Havermaet, and then Bjorn with a swing, half volley, and well off target.
Yeah, working the ball out here on the right-hand side again between Canarid and Aslani, that combination play which we've spoken about. But just counting the numbers inside the 18-yard box, Sweden won against 6 Belgians, the one being Blackstenius, and 6 Belgian defenders, 3 at least over the highest 6 foot. I'm going, come on. You know, you've got to find another option. You're playing into Belgium's hands. So you want to open the scoring, you need to be a bit more clever than that.
Now they're taking these short goal kicks, Izzy, and you know, I do not want to disrespect Belgium at all. At the moment, they are doing really well with them. They're working it out, but also having seen what happened to Manuela Zinsberger yesterday, which killed off the game. She, if you didn't see it, she just smashed it into Alexandra Pop, and that was 2-0. I mean, it just makes me have an intake of breath every time they're doing it.
Yeah, it's brave play, but so far it's working a dream.
Aslani wriggling away from a couple of challenges, felt she was pulled back. Now, was that Beesman's? I think it was Filton's, because Beesman's has already been booked. I think it's going to be another booking here, because that's twice, and it's both been on Aslani. So elusive.
Yeah, she's excellent, the way she skips past people, and Filton's, yeah, she takes the touch. Yeah, it's Filton's left back for Belgium now on a yellow card. Isn't a good sign considering the amount of play that comes down her side from Sweden. But yeah, just going back to that point, Sweden, that second phase on the attack is so important. They need to find another way through this Belgian wall so far, because it's not working crossing the ball into bodies.
The yellow card for Filton's, which does mean if they do progress Belgium, she will miss the next game. 2 bookings during this tournament. Good punch. Well, initially, a missed kick from Bjorn. A couple of missed kicks. Back in by Blackstenius, and the header is won by Eriksson, but over the top once again. Just a lack of composure.
Yeah, Sweden are just not connecting with the ball properly, and it drops on the second phase. Bjorn, I expect much better there from my Everton teammate. It was actually Dehaney for Belgium off the line, because that header's going in off the second phase. But yeah, again, a good defensive setup from Belgium. The defending set pieces and dealing with them really well.
I think they possibly would have seen Sweden's game against Portugal and did the exact opposite of whatever Portugal were up to for those goals.
Yeah, exactly that.
They were not convincing from the set piece. Still Sweden 0, Belgium 0. Sweden have had a goal ruled out for offside, a very, very tight one. As the ball is swung in once again, Blackstenius gets her head to it, but she was well marked and deflects into the gloves of Everard once again.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the crosses, Robin, that Sweden are happy to cross the ball to Blackstenius, and don't get me wrong, she's very good in the air, but if Belgium are not first to the ball, they affect it. And on that occasion, they just affected it, and it's a comfortable save for Everard, so Blackstenius can't get a clean contact on the ball, and they seem to be really, really good at that so far, Belgium. And throughout the tournament, may I add, real resilience. Again, it doesn't just happen overnight, it's years and years of growth, buying into a culture. And
Van Habermat, good ball out to this near side to Vullart. Orange boots, cuts in on her right foot, and Lindahl is forced to punch that. There was a player coming in, ready to tuck that away.
That was Cayman. She was a fraction away from that, an inviting ball. Lindahl just got there first and punches it away, but Cayman, she's so sharp, you know, off the front foot. She is so sharp. You'd be so aware of her movement, and she was so close then to opening the score for Belgium.
Inches away. Throw comes in. It is still throwing it down here, Lee Sports Village. The cross is closed down, and a corner kick over on the far side for Belgium.
You know, I would say here, Robin, from a Belgian perspective, 6 minutes plus stoppages before half-time. Don't think so much about scoring. Think about not conceding. You can get yourselves into that dressing room at 0-0 at half-time. You're galvanised, and your coach can give further instructions, and you can set yourselves up nicely for a second half.
Laura De Neva takes it short. They mix it up here. Delosa. She's closed down though, trying to work an opening over on the near side. Here comes the cross. It's a decent one. Again, Lindahl got there. I think a defender for Sweden got there ahead of her. Very wet pitch now, and a bit of a dangerous challenge that. No. Free kick given, nothing else. And free kick for Sweden, which they will take, and midway inside their own half, and they will try and build again. Another wicket for Ellen Oldroyd at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and we are looking at England bowling South Africa out now, 76 for 8. Their latest wicket was that Dwayne Pretorius edging one from Rashid high up into the air, caught by Jason Roy for 17. So it looks like actually we're not going to worry about the weather, because England may well take all of these South Africa wickets. They need another 126 runs to win South Africa. They're 76 for 8, 11.1 overs left.
Here at the Women's Euros quarter-final, it is 0-0 between Sweden and Belgium. Sweden heavy favourites, but they're being asked a lot of questions, and they're going to be asked another one Willart trying to thread it through towards Filtons, who has vacated the left-back space, and now Sweden will look to exploit it. She is well out of position, Filtons. She's sprinting back now. Kannerid. Blackstenius making the move, but not the one Kannerid thought she was going to. And you can see now the rain coming down, the ball is starting to hold up. a July summer tournament here in England.
I would say the other day with B, it was the complete opposite. It was 35 degrees, it was hot, sticky, humid. Players were getting ice towels, and now I'm looking at the Swedish bench to my left. They've all got rain jackets and trackies on.
Yep, Peter Gerhardsen has his hood up. Opening here for Belgium, it's a decent cross in. Ilestedt puts her head in and gets a good clearance on it. This is really strong end to the first half from Belgium. 5 minutes remaining, 0-0. Belgium, who are the lowest ranked side in this competition to reach the knockout stages. They are holding the highest ranked side in Europe. Kannerid just gets in ahead of Minart, and Sweden play it back towards the goalkeeper Lindahl and clears under pressure. Might have to just tweak the tactics a bit because the weather is really starting to affect things here.
Yeah, Lindahl, sorry, she's been so erratic, not looking confident to me at all in that Swedish goal. Her distribution's been, you know, very random, varied. I can see she's trying to kick it long to Blackstenius and get Belgium when they're off guard, but it's, you know, the execution needs to be accurate, and it isn't, and it's just setting Sweden back on the back foot again.
Sweden in possession though with Bjorn, who's not closed down. A lot of options. Plays the short pass to her right to Kannerid, and now on to Ilestedt on this near side, playing at right back today, usually at centre half, but absence of two full-backs for COVID for Sweden. Pass through the lines from Bjorn, now Kannerid, back to Bjorn. This is promising for Sweden. Bjorn on her right foot, trying to slip it through for Kannerid inside the penalty area. Good pressure from Bjorn, not allowing the clearance to be made, but it is from Filtons, who just gets it up the field. And as you say, Izzy, I'm sure they're just looking at the clock now, counting down the minutes, just at 2.5 until the break. Don't think there'll be too many added on for stoppages, just that one for the VAR check. Bjorn, again, well read by Sari Kays this time, centre half for Belgium. It's out of play.
The lineswoman again, another interesting decision. It was a Sweden throwing in, she's given it to Belgium. Strange officiating. But yeah, Belgium just very happy to sit in and maintain this strong structure that they've had for so far in the game.
I think Peter Gerhardsen might agree with you. He was having a stern word with the fourth official there. Eriksson forced to play a pass, but it's a good one to Bjorn. Sweden now moving it around a little bit quicker, desperate to get in half-time, a goal up, and they might just do that. Space on the far side, Nilden to progress forward, tries to pick out Aslani, just about gets there ahead of the defender on the edge of the penalty area. A poor cross though, it's going to bounce harmlessly wide. Goal kick for Belgium.
Yeah, sound like I'm being so critical, but it's really, really poor from Rolfo of Barcelona there into an area. She's looking for Kannerid at the back post, but she's completely over-executed the ball. It's gone out for a Belgian goal kick, but Sweden just, for me, they really, really lacking on that final ball. Belgium, don't get me wrong, have read the passes really well and stepped in, but they've just been so, I don't want to use the word mediocre, but they just haven't had high standards that I've seen from England and Germany so far this tournament, and that's why I'm going to call it early. I'm not sure Sweden can go on and win this, because those little details are so important in these stages of the competition.
The thing with Sweden though, they can play badly, they have players with the quality just to hit one in from 30 yards.
Yeah.
Aslani, that was a good ball, she wasn't quite tall enough.
Yeah, it's very, very true, Robin. They do have players that can hurt you, but I've watched Rolfo throughout this tournament. I've not seen her come to life yet. And if Sweden do want to have a chance of winning, you need her quickly to get to life and gather a little bit of form, because at the moment Aslani's their star player. Everything good from Sweden comes to Aslani, but she could often get marked out of the game, so someone else needs to step up.
Dakani wins the header from the clearance from the goal kick. Minart can't keep hold of it. Filton's, though, so dynamic. Will get there. Clearance upfield, and it's glanced on by Dakani, and now Minart. And Villart will try and get there. Head of Bjorn, who was clearing up well on the edge of her own penalty area. Manages to find Rolfo over on the far side, the left winger. 1 minute of time added on, which we're already into. Sweden 0, Belgium 0. Ilestedt onto inside for Angeldal, who's had the majority of the chances. Again, an aimless ball towards Blackstenius, in the vicinity of the area of Blackstenius, but not accurate enough.
The thing is, they need to get Aslani higher, up next to Blackstenius, and they just need to work on opposite movements. Pull one defender in, other one needs to go long. That's the way through it, because at the moment everything is being played in front of the two Belgian centre-halves, and that's why they can just step in easily. They've got tall players that have got long legs, and you think they're not going to get the ball, but they do, because they just stick a leg out and they nick it.
There it is, half-time. Really impressive display from Belgium, who did have a scare. Blackstenius thought she'd given Sweden the lead, but it was ruled out for the narrowest of offsides. And since then, Sweden have struggled. Belgium have really given them a good game here. So far, so good for the underdogs, at least. At a very wet Lee Sports Village at half-time. It's Sweden 0, Belgium 0.
Robin, Izzy, thank you very much for the time being. They'll be back with second half commentary, and we're going to speak to Tash Dowie again very shortly. But it's all over at Old Trafford. Ellie Altroyd.
Not quite, Steve. There was it's a review at the moment given out LBW. This will be the final wicket, but looks like Ultra Edge has just spared Tabriz Shamsi at the end. But they're 81 for 9, South Africa. The target is 202. We have had 20 overs now, so even if we get that downpour that's at the Lee Sports Village, England will have won this on Duckworth Lewis. It has been a really entertaining game, this, because England, looked as if 201 might not have been enough. But South Africa have absolutely collapsed here. They have collapsed from, they lost 4 wickets for no runs in 10 deliveries. And it looks like England will level this series in the not too distant future. 81 for 9, South Africa, and we've had 20 of the 29 overs.
Ellie, thank you very much. I saw a batsman walking away. I thought it was all done, but we continue. And who knows? Everybody, England are going to win. It's a matter of time. Ellie will tell us when it's happened. Let's bring Tash Dowie back in. Tash, I can only imagine as a centre forward the sympathy you have for Blackstenius with that turn and that finish, only to see yourself an inch offside.
Oh, it was a terrific finish. To be honest, the touch was the most important thing. If she took that touch straight, the defender can recover, can get the tackle in. But clever centre forwards, and with her pace, it helps as well. She takes the touch across the defender, which means that really the defender either takes her down, and then obviously it's a foul, potentially red card, or really she has no choice but to let her go like she did. And then the composure then to finish it bottom corner. It was a terrific goal, and I thought at the time they deserved that lead. They dominated the game. For me, Belgium, I see no patterns of play. The forwards look isolated. They're turning the ball over too easy. Sweden are controlling the game and have had quite a few half chances, but some very decent chances as well, and will probably be disappointed to be going in 0-0. And on the flip side, I think Belgium will be very happy that the score is 0-0.
I guess if you are an underdog and you are going to get a surprise victory, which is what this would definitely be if Belgium were to beat Sweden, you need several little moments like that, several really tight calls to go your way.
Yep, agree completely. And I think that'll be a massive boost going into the change room. They'll know they've rode their luck. But actually, sometimes you need that luck, exactly what you've just said. So I think it'll be a really positive halftime team talk for them. But I also think that if they go out and perform like that in the second half, Sweden will have too much to not put a goal away. So, they've shown signs, Belgium. I think they need to get Woolart on the ball more. Cayman, obviously, them two are their key players. They can create something. You can see that with Woolart's pace in behind. And we know Cayman, she's a terrific finisher. I think for me as well, Dakani, she needs to do more. She's not holding the ball up well enough. She needs that. As a number 9, we've been in those games. For me, for instance, this season at Reading against Chelsea, where you're defending for pretty much 90 minutes and the ball comes up to you, you have to hold it up for your team to allow your team to then get up and support you and get in the game. Whereas she's not doing that. It's turning over every single time Belgium play it upturn, then it's another attack for Sweden. So she needs to do more.
If we had more time, we'd talk about Belgium's weird goal kicks, but we'll save that for a little bit later. Tash, thank you very much for the time being. Ellie, now it's over.
It's over now, Steve, yes. South Africa are all out for 83 in 20.4 overs, so we didn't need to worry about Duckworth, Lewis, Stern or rain or anything like that. Final wicket falling to Moeen Ali, Norkia holding out to Bairstow at long on for 6. So it's amazing really to think that it was pouring with rain for most of the afternoon. We didn't get started till 4:45. Loads of people who had tickets, I know, decided that it wasn't going to happen, so they came and they went. They didn't turn up in the first place, but we've seen 20 wickets fall. We've seen a very entertaining shortened game here, and England win by 118 runs, and they've levelled the series at 1-1 with 1 to play at Headingley on Sunday.
Ellie, thank you, and I'll see you on Sunday.
You will indeed. What a thriller we'll have in prospect. And I think the forecast is good as well on Sunday for a 5 Live Sport live from the cricket at Headingley.
Very much looking forward to it. Ellie Oldroyd, thank you very much. Let's go into Super League. 2 games ongoing, including the one at Warrington, Dave Woods.
Where it's half-time, Warrington 16, Hull Kingston Rovers 12. No danger of rain stopping play here, but it's certainly hampered play. Lots of handling mistakes, but Warrington dominating in the opening 20 minutes. They led 14-0, in part thanks to a couple of Jake Wardle tries. But Hull Kingston Rovers have got themselves back into it. Ben Crooks getting over, Sam Wood crashing in as well. And in amongst those, Peter Matortia from Warrington being sin-binned for a high tackle. But Warrington just extending that lead slightly again with a Stephen Ratchford penalty just before half-time. So they lead 16-12. The other game, at 6th place Hull FC are leading 5th place Castleford by 18 points to 14 late in the first half there.
Cheers, Dave. We've got second half commentary on the way from Leigh Sports Village, quarter-final of the Women's Euros. It's Sweden 0, Belgium 0. The winners, of course, will play England in the semi-final. We'll be with you right through the game, even if we need extra time and penalties. We'll back there after the latest news on 5 Live with Dan Maudsley.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
A jury in Washington has found Donald Trump's former presidential advisor guilty of contempt of Congress. Steve Bannon faced criminal charges after defying a legal summons to testify at a congressional committee investigating last year's riots at the Capitol building. Bannon could face up to 2 years in prison. Our correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher is in Washington.
The committee that is investigating the attack on Capitol Hill on January 6, 2021, had subpoenaed him for documents and had also subpoenaed him to appear before the committee and testify, and he refused to do both. And so those were the 2 charges, and the jury decided that he was guilty. This is interesting because, of course, the January 6th committee is ongoing investigating that insurrection, and they were very eager to talk to Mr. Bannon about his possible role in it, because on his podcast shortly before it, he had said all hell will break loose on January 6th.
Ukraine and Russia have signed a deal allowing wheat and corn to be exported from Ukrainian ports. Russia's promised not to attack cargo ships carrying the grain or the ports that they set sail from. Ukraine, in return, has agreed to allow the ships to be inspected to check they're not carrying weapons. The RMT union has confirmed that a rail strike will go ahead next Wednesday, affecting fans heading to Germany's Women's Euros semi-final in Milton Keynes. More than 40,000 workers at Network Rail and 14 train operating companies will walk out in a row over pay and conditions. Further strikes are planned for next month. And the AA is warning people that disruption and delays on busy holiday routes in the UK should be expected throughout the summer. There was chaos today as drivers were trapped for up to 7 hours in queues towards the port of Dover. French authorities blamed an unforeseeable technical incident in the Channel Tunnel, a claim denied by Eurotunnel.
We all think we can do it. Pick a team to win a trophy, buy and sell players. I mean, how hard can it really be?
That is nowhere near the standards that we set collectively as a team.
Yes! Moment of Truth will challenge your assessment of whether you can really manage a football club by taking you to the beating heart of the fight for promotion to the Championship.
It just went kaboom. If you lose 4 games, you'll get the sack.
These are the bits about football clubs that people don't see.
We take you on the ultimate journey of sporting pressure as Rotherham's Paul Warren and Oxford's Carl Robinson fight it out to change their collective stories forever.
The pressure's on winning is absolutely disgusting.
Moment of Truth. Listen first on BBC Sounds.
BBC 5 Live, the UEFA Women's Euros, England 2022.
With Steve Crossman.
And England will play either Sweden or Belgium in the semi-final. Those two nations playing tonight in the quarter-final. Second half commentary on the way. It is 0-0. The final quarter-final on Saturday is the holders, the Netherlands, against France. We got Tash Dowie with us. Delighted to say we can also bring in our EuroLeague's regular Julien Laurent. Jules, good evening.
Good evening, guys.
Where's the game tomorrow?
In Rotherham, of course.
Rotherham. I
Rotherham,
haven't spoken to you since you discovered Rotherham. How was it?
It's amazing. I'm even thinking about moving all the family up there, and just establish myself there. Love it.
I love the idea of that. That would be great. It'd be much easier to get you on the EuroLeague, so you could come and do it from the studio.
True, and it's much better than London. So yeah, of course, yeah.
Everybody knows this. So the last time I spoke to you, which was when you discovered Rotherham, there's a great daily Euros, which is literally called Jules Discovers Rotherham, which people should listen to. But we talked a lot about the French head coach, Corinne Diacre, because he's a very controversial figure and not shy of an opinion. And basically, it was France could be great or they could be awful. So what have they been, in your opinion?
I think they've been in the middle. They've showed moment of brilliance, really, and that first half against Italy was magnificent in many regards. And then they had, again, great moments, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes there in the other 2 matches in their group stages. But they've also showed a lack of consistency in the level of the performances in those 3 games. The second half against Italy, the game was won, but then against Belgium, against Iceland as well, where they could not keep it up for 90 minutes or even for more than 10, 15 or 20. And obviously the injury to one of them best players, or if not the best one in Katoto, was a huge blow. So it's been hot and cold, and that's why it's hard to know what kind of France team is going to turn up tomorrow against the Dutch, because if they are on their game, on their day, I think they can be amazing. They really have the talent, and I think they've got the mentality now, especially at the quarterfinals, and we will talk about the curse about the quarterfinals after. But they can also not turn up at all, and that's what makes that team very difficult to judge, really.
Mentality, Tash, was the thing with France we were all wondering about, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. And I agree 100% with what's just been said. I think Katoto is a massive miss. I think France on their day, if they turn up and perform well, are stronger than this Netherlands team. But I also think on the flip side for the Netherlands, that can be quite tough going up against an opponent where actually you don't know whether they're going to be on it or not. What France are they going to meet? I think Miedema being back for the Netherlands as well will be a massive boost for them. And in form, their last game, France drawing 1-1 with Iceland. Netherlands had a comfortable win, 4-1 against the Swiss. So they'll be full of confidence going into this game. They're holders of this competition as well. But I just think France have so much talent. I think they're one of the exciting teams. They're one of the teams that I get excited to watch, the likes of France, England, Spain. I love their style of play. I love how, counter-attacking with the fast forwards. They've got those goal scorers. It was such a shame that Katoto got injured because she's one of my favourite players being a striker. But it's going to be fascinating. Both teams, can go on and potentially win this if they're on their game.
Jules, where are you now? Are you spending some rare time in France?
Yeah, I'm flying tomorrow to go to my favorite place in the world, Rotherham. But yes, it's a bit of a holiday for now.
Interesting. The reason I ask is because you'll probably have seen we had more than 9 million people tuning in for the England-Spain game. What about in France? How is France's tournament? If you went to a little magazine and picked up a quotidien, would you find lots of information about this French team?
Yeah, there is big coverage in L'Équipe, for example, or on French television. The games are on TF1, which is the biggest TV channel in France. The other ones are on Canal+, which is the satellite channels. But it's followed because I think the 2019 World Cup, and we were there, we experienced it. It was so big in France. Even if the French lost in the quarterfinals again, and that's the quarterfinal curse that they can't break, they haven't been able to for the last 10 years. But that was so big that even if the interest sort of went down a little bit after because of COVID, because we had to wait another year for the next big tournament, which is this Euros in England, there's still big coverage, and they still hope that this team can do really well, has the potential to do really well. So people in France believe in them, believe in those players, believe in the team, believe in Diacre as well. And tomorrow, I believe on a Saturday night, prime time on French television, they're going to do, I think, 10 million on television, a lot on radio again, because there's big expectations, which there should be, because they are a very talented squad. It's just there's a time now where they have to turn up. There's a time where quarterfinals is not enough. It's not good enough for a team like that, for players like them who win Champions League with Lyon or go far with PSG or play abroad, like a lot of them. Quarterfinals is not enough. Even in a very, very talented tournament like this one, with really, really good players and a high level of performances, quarterfinals, again, would be a huge failure. Even if it's against the Dutch, the holders, they cannot stop again in the quarterfinals. This time they have to go to the last four.
Jules, enjoy Rotherham Part 2.
Thank you very much. I'll tell you all about it for sure tomorrow.
Can't wait. I've been there before. I don't need you to tell me.
No, I know, but my view of it, if you want.
Of course. No, I'm sure. I want to know Rotherham's view of you more than anything. But Julianne Laurent with us on 5 Live Sport. More from Tash Dowie to come at full time as well. But both teams are out on the pitch in Lee. Remember, Belgium versus Sweden with the winners to play England. Goalless at half-time. Izzy Christensen is with Robin Cowan.
Yes, thank you, Steve. I think we all need to push for the podcast of Julianne Laurent in Rotherham. That could be a several-part series, I think. Several. I mean, they give anyone a travel show these days, don't they?
Yeah, and also, did you know that French people can't pronounce H's?
So it's Rotherham.
They just struggled to say it, but I know the French girls, when it was hot in Lyon, they used to say it's ot.
Okay.
OT, just OT.
Okay.
OT.
I'm not going to criticise anyone's accent, because, they'll be throwing stones. But we're underway here, the Sports Village in the second half. Belgium with a really impressive display in that first half. The rain has relented slightly. No changes at the break for either side. Peter Gerhardsson sent his Swedish team out slightly earlier than Belgium. Not sure exactly what sort of style of management he employs, man management, player management, but certainly wouldn't be happy with what he saw in that first half. Having said that, they could, and Izzy, from your point of view, should have been ahead.
Yeah, they should have been ahead. I've been watching it back at half-time. It was definitely a goal. I mean, Blackstenius has done everything she can to get herself onside. Spun her run, good bit of play, but yep. I don't really understand why VAR's in place then if it's not going to help in situations like that.
This could be a chance for Sweden. Pulled across the box. Heavy first touch though from Angeldal. Still alive here for Rolfer, who's challenged on the edge of the area. And Kaiman gets a clearance away for Belgium. Sweden wanting to start positively on the front foot. Had the goal ruled out for offside. Millimetres in the first half. Izzy Christensen doesn't trust the person who draws the lines.
Keep my opinions to myself.
Space on this near side again for Nilden. Low ball in. Really well tracked by Van Havermaet. A powerful strike from Rolfer, but straight at Everard, who holds firm.
Yeah, good, strong strike from Rolfer. Come off the second face, Aslani on the tip of the box. Goes for that cute finish, it's deflected, and Rolfo gets herself onside, volleys it straight into the hands of Everard. Good technique to keep it down. Good effort by her.
Again, Belgium, they take a short goal kick. They play a couple of passes between goalkeeper and defender, and then usually someone ends up going long. I just wonder what they're hoping to gain from that. There's a Dekine, wriggles away from a couple of challenges and eventually plays it to this near side to Kaiman. Here's Woolart, and now Delosa, right-footed, swings in the cross to Biltons, the smallest player on the pitch by some distance, gets her head to it, glances it wide.
Yeah, it's a free header from Filtons, attacking left-back for Belgium, getting herself into that box. Good bit of build-up play from Belgium, giving her the time to get up with the attack. But it's all come from Woolart again. The the way the Belgium, yes, it's risky playing out from the back against the Swedish press, but it's working every single time, and it's all done to isolate Woolart in dropping into that number 10 role from the front two of Belgium, and no one can pick her up. The Sweden are just getting sucked in by the press, and it's so smart from the manager, the system that they're playing, Belgium.
Here is Nilden. Sweden trying to up the tempo to one-touch passing, but overhit, although Stina Blackstenius wins it back fairly according to the referee. The cross is low and it's easily defended by Deneva. Sweden come again with Bjorn into the central area for Angeldal. And then Asllani, and then it's off the bar. Flag has gone up anyway.
Of course, she's offside.
Offside. It was Ilestedt who latched onto that. Everard, I think, possibly had that covered, but good chance again for Sweden, and such another close offside. I think she was onside.
Yeah, she was. It was a really nice, instinctive flick on from the right back for Sweden, from the little dink ball from Asllani. Really instinctive finish, just offside though.
Another tense moment for Belgium. And a good start to the second half for Sweden. It needed to be. After they sort of withered away out of the game in the latter stage of the first half. Still 0-0 between Sweden and Belgium. And some space once again. Nilden an option on this near side, the left. Seeing a lot of the ball early stages the second half. Angeldal once again on the edge of the D. Fired into Asllani, couldn't control, and it's cleared by Filchens.
Yeah, good play from Angeldal and Asllani combining on the edge of the 18. Angeldal threaded the ball through. It wasn't actually for Asllani, it was for Canarid, who'd made the late run, and if Asllani had the awareness to leave the ball, Canarid would have been through and breached that Belgian defence.
I think it's raining again, just in a shot of Peter Gerhardsson, who's put his hood up, back up. Big fan of music, Peter Gerhardsson, and actually has tickets to see the Rolling Stones on the 31st of July. Does that date ring a bell?
It does. What time's the concert?
I'm assuming if his team do reach the final, he'll choose that one over the concert. Here comes the corner kick. Easily defended by Van Havermaet, but picked up by Asllani, who's challenged again. And now Belgium will try and mount a counter-attack. Sweden in retreat. Can Belgium work it? Good defensive play from Sweden to stop the quick counter. Van Havermaet forced back all the way to the goalkeeper, who's closed down by Blackstenius. Gets the clearance away, left-footed Everard. A commanding header from Ilestedt, who heads it basically the whole half of a pitch. And out for a goal kick for Belgium over on this far side. Belgium kicking from left to right in their black shirts, red shorts and red socks, and Sweden the bright yellow shirts and socks and the navy blue shorts. As Belgium play it out from the back once again. This near side, Deneva. Layoff from Janice Kaiman. Van Havermaet. Beautiful long diagonal. Finds the intended target as well, Minard. A couple of good touches. Space for Kaiman to measure the cross here. It's not a bad one, but it's easily held by Lindahl. She had options in the middle there.
Good play out of the press again by Belgium. So comfortable playing, it was good from Kaiman on this right-hand side for Belgium. She went and linked in with her full-back. She's under a lot of pressure, back to goal, sets it into midfield, and then Belgium are out of that Swedish press, which has been so strong over the years.
A step over from De Loza. Felt she was fouled. They've lost it in a dangerous area here, Belgium. Here's Angeldal, faces up and plays it over to the far side for Canarid to have a run at Filtons. She cuts back, but Van Havermaet is there to clear up. They come again, though. Here's Bjorn. Really good interception there. Stretched out a right boot. De Loza. Another ball into the box towards Blackstenius. This time it's Kays who gets it away. Good defensive header. And the flag indicates another Sweden throw midway inside the Belgium half. They're putting Belgium under good pressure, but Belgium looking good defensively, solid. It looks sharp, and they look like they really take pride in their defending as well.
They do, Robin, and they'll have been working on this game plan since the Italy game finished, in terms of how they're going to play, come up with a plan. And the players have bought into it so well so far. It's not a familiar system for this Belgian side. It's easy to adapt to, but it's just also the personnel.
Canarid twisting and turning, maybe one too many times, or no, just managed to retain possession. Right side of the penalty area, Canarid. Oh, that's a really inventive back pass. Aslani was taking aim, and Van Havermaet was there to block the shot, and she's won a free kick as well. Good play from Van Havermaet.
Yep. Van Havermaet, excellent sweeping up in that midfield position. Aslani, yeah, about to pull the trigger just outside the penalty spot there for Sweden. But yeah, Belgium just so comfortable in this defensive block, leaving the centre-backs for Sweden as the ball playmakers, if you like, and saying, what else have you got?
Delosa is closed down, but Bjorn's touch lets her down, out of play for a Belgium throw. 0-0 between Sweden and Belgium. 54 minutes on the clock here at Leigh Sports Village on BBC Radio 5 Live. The third quarter-final of the Women's European Championships. We'll have the fourth one, and mouth-watering prospect as well. The defending champions Netherlands against another of the potential favourites, France. Should be a cracker. Belgium in possession on this near side. Delosa fancying a run forward and is fouled by Rolfe. Did really well to shield the ball there, didn't she, and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's not what Rolfe wants to be doing, tracking the fullback back towards her own goal. She wants to be taking her the other way, but you have to do your duties for the team. But as the game continues like this, Robin, Sweden are going to get more and more frustrated. They're going to start seeing gaps appearing. And that's when Belgium might, come up with something.
Heavy touch from Canarid, again allows the challenge to come in, and here comes Minnaert. A very tall Belgian midfielder striding forward. When she takes one stride, I'll take about three.
Yeah, me. And this Belgian team, they've obviously been told at half time by the coach that when on the transitional moments, don't force it long, because it could just come back at you. And what Belgium have done so well early on in this second half is just keep the ball on the transitions. They've just not forced it forward. They've cut back inside, dropped it back off to a defender and started playing again, and that's just really started to frustrate Sweden.
You're absolutely right, really patient play, and this is a promising move for Belgium, but really well tracked back. Over on the far side, Ilestedt. Flowing move, they are being a bit more patient. Sweden in possession, under no pressure, inside their own half. Here is Philippa Angeldal of Manchester City. Had a couple of chances in the first half, couldn't find the target. Aslani takes over on the far side, closed down by Minnaert. Aslani back to Ilestedt, who really overhits that cross. It's going to bounce harmlessly out, so she's going to be kept in by Delosa. Right on this near touch line, that's a poor pass, cut out midway inside the Belgian half. Bjorn pops it over to this near side. Rolfo on the byline, Canarid, and it's a good defensive header off the line from Van Havermaet. Sweden threatening, and they will recycle and come again. Left edge of the penalty area, sloppy pass
from Rolfo. Yep, again, Robin, we're seeing it. She just hasn't hit her heights yet this tournament. I've seen so many loose passes from her, lazy, sloppy passes that are just not up to scratch. And this is the problem with Sweden and their team. They've been so reliant on Rolfo. Look at that, just pass it. Keeper Everard for Belgium, just passing the ball straight through three Swedish players. And now Belgium on the front foot. Baffling.
Their performance is deteriorating as Eriksson goes in a challenge on Woollards. I'm really not sure how that's not a free kick and a foul. Looked like she took her out. Referee waves play on. Aslani is dribbling with the ball while sort of shrugging her shoulders, wondering where she can play the ball to? Angeldal tries a ball over the top for Kannerud, who made the run. Cut out by Filtons over on the far side. Back in the possession of Sweden. 0-0. Sweden just look a little bit, lacking in ideas slightly.
Well, you just alluded then to the body language of Aslani, the captain. She's dropping deeper and deeper to get on the ball, and she's dribbling with the ball, and she's putting her hands up as if to say, come on, who wants it? Play off me, someone, come and help. No one's doing it. It's just, like I said, it's just getting more and more frustrating from the Sweden point of view. The attacks aren't working. It doesn't look like they've got a solution to this Belgian wall at the moment.
As Belgium win another goal kick for their side, I think it's been a theme of this competition that really well-coached teams have played above the sum of their parts. We've seen it time and time again. I think Austria been magnificent. I saw Switzerland in parts play brilliantly. They were great against the Netherlands until the final throws of that game in the group stage. I think it's just really shows how much the game has come on in terms of the tactical and the physical intelligence of these players. They can match better, in inverted commas, sides.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, Robin. I was so impressed with the tactics throughout the whole tournament from the Austrian coach, and obviously last night bowing out to Germany. But even for parts of that game, to be honest with you, I actually fell asleep.
Not to do with the game, was it?
No, I didn't even see the final result. I woke up and checked it online, but I fell asleep watching it.
You've been in pre-season for about 24 weeks already, haven't you?
It's been a big shift lately, but so impressed with Austria.
Here's Blackstenius picking out Rolfert. Those two have switched positions, more centrally Rolfert. Again, Belgium not allowing them any time on the ball. Nilden, the left back, turning inside to Bjorn. About 30 yards away from goal. Forced all the way back to Sembrand, the centre half. Midway inside the Belgium half. Now plays it over to the far side to Kannerud, who fancies a run again. I think scuffs her cross. She managed to execute the step over, but not the important bit.
Absolutely fantastic from Belgium to play out that press, and Cayman
3-on-2 here, but the ball didn't have the weight on the pass for Willards, and there was an option over on the far side as well.
It's the right option from Willards, saying on the counter-attack and the transitions you don't need to force it, but Cayman was running. Cayman, she's normally rapid, but maybe she ran out of legs a little bit at the final end of that run, but it was the right option from Willards, because Cayman can normally get on the end of those. But such good play from Belgium. I don't know if it's Sweden's counter-press is poor, or Belgium are just playing out of their defence so easily. It's almost like, hang on a minute, what's going on here? I'd love to ask Jonas about what he thinks.
Well, he's on a platform over to our far side doing television at the moment, so we'll try and get a message across to him. Kannerud. Takes aim. Oh, it's not a bad effort, dipping. Just ruffled the top of the net as on its way in. Maybe that's what they need.
Yeah, strike from distance again from Angeldal. Seems to be the most promising Swedish player at the moment in terms of scoring. But that late challenge on Aslani, she flicked it, I think it's Aslani, down, is it? Yeah, it's
on her
Aslani.
haunches, yeah.
Yeah, it's Aslani down, but she was caught so late. Surely the referee needs to bring that back and have a word with whoever it was that made a challenge on her. But she flicked it around the corner. She's so sharp, Aslani. Really, really bad challenge there. I think it was Minart, was it? All right, on the top of Aslani's toe, and that is a game-ready job in the morning, I'm telling you. Game ready is an ice machine, by the way, for those who are unsure.
Oh. Yeah. I was going to pretend that I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, you nodded along like you've got one in the boot of your car.
Oh, that would be weird. Belgium playing out from the back, still 0-0. There's been a try at the Rugby League. We've got for you, Dave Woods.
Yes, it's gone to Warrington, 22-12 they lead now. Thomas McKaylee barging over from close range. Shortly after, Hulkingston Rovers' Elliot Minchella was sin-binned, so Warrington looking healthy at the moment, 22-12 they lead.
Thank you, Dave. 62 minutes on the clock here. Sweden 0, Belgium 0. Aslani back on her feet and wriggling away from a challenge. Angeldal once again goes for goal, but closed down. And that's a good defensive header from Minart. Claims for a handball. Waved away by the referee. This will be checked in the background. It was mainly claims from the Swedish crowd over on the far side. They come again. Rolfer with a surge. Again, too heavy a touch and invites the Belgium centre-half, Sari Keys, to get her foot in. Sweden build again. Sembrant over to the far side. Back to the right back Illerstedt, whose header came back off the crossbar. Angeldal not being closed down, well fielded, down to her right by Everard.
Again, it's Angeldal taking on the shot. Perhaps the better option in that moment was to slip Canarid, who was there on her right. And just watching a replay, you know what? She has got a claim, Canarid. She tried to flick the ball over Filtons, the left back for Belgium, and Filtons has put her arm up in front of her face. The ball has hit her arm by the looks of things on the replay, but I'm guessing that VAR has had a look at that and obviously deemed it as a no. Yeah, it says check over on the screen, but interesting.
Yeah, Peter Gerhardsen has just made the square gesture with his fingers, asking if it was looked at. He certainly felt that that should have been a penalty. I think maybe what saved her was it was very close to her, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was right in front of her face.
Willard, close control. She was being buffeted by Eriksson. Plays it to her centre-half partner today, Sembrant. The first start of the tournament. Played long towards Blackstenius. It's going to be retrieved on this near side by Nilden. Infield to Rolfer. Back to Nilden, who's got a bit of space here. Plays it along the floor to Bjorn. And what a fantastic block that is. Kays had to make it because Bjorn was about 6 yards away from goal.
Yeah, and I think if Bjorn had took the shot on her left foot, she might have been able to get herself a better angle. She tried to curl it with the outside of her right from this left-hand side. But a good bit of play between Rolfo and Nilden down the left for Sweden, resulting in this corner.
Aslani, well, towards the near post there, she just comes back, hits the side netting. 0-0. We're still none the wiser as to who will face England on Tuesday night's semi-final at Sheffield United's Bramall Lane. I mean, really don't want to sound too confident, Izzy. You know, very superstitious about these things, but gotta say, on the performance today, if Sweden do find a way through, I don't think England's going to be too troubled. Although we did say that about Spain, and they upped their game. So, again, I'm just talking to myself here. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Here comes Sweden. It's a good mazy run. And eventually, Belgium clear their lines. They're sitting very deep now, Belgium.
Yeah, they're dropping right off. And then what that's doing is it's making Natalie Bjorn the 6 for Sweden and the 2 centre-backs in Eriksson and Sembrant becoming the playmakers, the ball players. And they just haven't got anywhere to go. Blackstenius needs space in behind to run into, and Belgium are just denying that. Again, like I'd say, it's one thing having the tactics and the nous to spot that, but the second thing is doing it. Belgium have done it to perfection so far.
Another corner kick for them to defend, though, and they're getting ready to make their first substitution of the game. Eleanor Dont of FC20 ready to come on, but first of all, we'll take this corner kick. Nilden, Sweden, the left footer, right in front of the fans, who are still absolutely buoyant, waving their flags, clapping, chanting. She raises her left arm in the air, and it's a high looping cross. And Van Havermaet wins that pretty easily. Tall player from Reading. Played out to Canarid, who puts a good ball in, but no one can control. Out of play for another goal kick. And the substitution now being made for Belgium. Elena Dont, who's been impressive this tournament. So, Laura Delosa coming off. Interesting one, that, because that's the right back off, and Dont is very much a forward player. So, I'll have to see what he's done here.
Cayman's just slotted in at right back. She's played that position for Lyon. She knows what she's doing there. She's comfortable, and I think that's probably a combination of reasons, but the first one being the knowledge that Cayman hasn't been as much of a threat going forward as maybe the coach would have liked. So She's got a physical profile that she can do a job at right back as well, so moving her back and trying something different up front I think is quite smart from the coach. I also think Deleuze started to look to me like she was fatiguing a little bit, but I'm not going to say that again, because when I last said that, Stanway sticked one in the top bins.
Well, Deleuze can't do that
which
now.
I'm not complaining about, by the way.
No, I don't think anyone is. Deleuze won't be able to do that because she's now sat on the bench right in front of us. But yeah, an interesting switch from the Belgian coach. So Elena Dont on. And a chance here for Belgium to break. And here is Dont. She's going to face up to Eriksson, who's backing away from her. She's going to have some... well, Friedel and Rolfo got back really well there to support Eriksson. And I don't think Dom got the shout. Rolfo got the ball away. But only as far as Willart, who's allowed to put the cross in. Lindahl gets there just ahead of de Kuyman to grab.
Yeah, good forward run from Dont, and I think she thinks she's 1v1 with the fullback, but Rolfo doing a shift with the team, tracking back and nicking it off her. But again, on that second phase, Willart, she's just watching her lining that up. She looked up and thought, got a height advantage in the box if I cross this, and I've just watched Lindahl's movement, the Swedish goalkeeper, and she just took a couple of steps as Willart wound up a leg and said, I'm going to come and cherry pick this one.
Sembrant, the number 3 centre-half for Sweden, plays it to the right back today, Illerstedt. Sweden have had a goal ruled out for offside in the first half, and they've hit the bar in the second. So they've had the better chances. Belgium put in a magnificent display. Here's Minnaert over on the far side for Belgium. Not got too many options and takes one too many touches and is robbed of the ball. Angeldal getting back to get possession back for her side. Rolfo, drop of the shoulder, drives forward over to that far side. That's a good run from Kannerid, if she can keep it in. She certainly can. Hugging the touchline again. We'll try and drive at the Belgian defence. Drop of the shoulder to the byline. It deflects away. Another corner kick for Sweden.
Yeah, starting to sort of turn the screw a little bit, Sweden. Rolfo there, picking up a bit, and sometimes being a bit critical of her this evening, but sometimes when you do the work the other way for your team, the defensive work can give you a little bit of confidence for the attacking work as well. And I've just seen her then get on the half turn, drive forward, slip in Kannerid down the right, resulting in the corner. But Sweden, they need to start picking players out when they get in the box. They're just putting hopeless balls in and letting Belgium drop.
8th corner for Sweden. Again, it's high, looping, and it's won in the air by Eriksson. Headed towards goal. Picked up on this near side by Bjorn. Fires in the cross, and the header is won at the back post, but it's nodded wide by Asllani.
Yep. Should have done better. Kosovo, Asllani, back post, unmarked, second phase. She's seen it late, she just headed it wide. But Asllani, can you put that back across goal into the chaos area? Cause something.
Again, Belgium exchange passes between goalkeeper and defender, and eventually the goalkeeper Everard goes long. Sweden back in possession with Kannerid. Plays it down the line for Asllani. In behind. Plays it back, but I think Angeldal was maybe caught in her heels, or it just didn't quite fall for her. Belgium trying to get out. And eventually the whistle blows for a free kick for Sweden, and a talking to by Minnaert, who thought she could get there but just caught Illerstedt on the follow through.
It's close, really, really close. Illerstedt. No, it's Sembrant. She had to win the ball. She had to win the ball because Belgium had a forward runner. Sembrant being one of the last players. She had to commit, won it. No, she got a free kick. That was close. Risky from Sweden.
Definite free kick, swiped at her shin pad. So Sweden have sent all the players forward, lining the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be tossed in by Asllani. A lot of bodies up there rising. This could be the chance. Another fantastic save from Everard. Magnificent.
Wow. Everard, take a bow. It was Blackstenius in front of her. Oh, wow, what a save that is at point-blank range. That is unbelievable from the goalkeeper, Everard.
Blackstenius couldn't have done anything else with that, because She couldn't really put it further in the corner because it was coming at her so quickly. Unbelievable. And we've just had a stat flash up on our screen. 7 saves she's made, and I count at least 2 of them have been absolutely world class.
Yeah, they have been. She's really grown into this tournament, really taken herself up another level, and distribution has been absolutely fantastic as well in this game especially. She's just cut through the Swedish press.
Forgive me for saying this, Izzy, because I know you have a very early start tomorrow, but if it does come to penalties, I'll tell you what, you wouldn't do wrong backing Belgium because of Nikki Everard. She's already saved 2, and just the fact that she's keeping Sweden out almost single-handedly might play on their minds if they face her in a penalty shootout.
Well, I really hope for selfish reasons it doesn't go that way. But my word, I honestly, the form that she's in, Everard, if I'm a Belgium outfield player, I would back my goalkeeper any day of the week in the form that she's in to save some penalties.
Space opening up here for Sweden. Here's Asllani trying to work some space on the edge of the area, slips it through. Very congested though in the penalty area, no time for Blackstenius to get the shot away. And now Belgium can break. Dont trying to play it to the far side. It is going to be picked up by Woolard. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Chance here for Belgium. Dekine, she's taken too many touches. Yes, she has. Why didn't she shoot?
No idea.
Bilton's with the cross in. Well defended by Eriksson, but still the pressure comes from Belgium. Dont considered a shot with her left boot. Plays it back to Van Havermaet. And now Dekine. Sweden just look caught on their heels. They're not defending anything. Kamen with the cross in. Good headed clearance, and now Asllani clears over the halfway line. Only Blackstenius up there, but she might cause some problems. Kays had to win that header, and she did.
That is the best chance Belgium are most likely going to get in the whole game. That was an absolute golden chance for Belgium to cause or to make a really big statement to Sweden. Sweden don't look, Robin, they don't look at it at all.
No.
Something's been missing from their performance. I can't quite put my finger on it, but they look like they've run out of ideas. I'm going to say, I think they look like they've run out of ideas. Asllani then picking up the ball, and she just hoofed it in the air. The Belgian centre-half just dealt with it. Weird.
And there's your mate, your teammate, Hannah Bennison warming up.
Go. Ideas. There we go, a light bulb moment. Bring her on. Now.
Gone for a run. Quarter of an hour remaining of normal time. Sweden struggling, but they have some space down the far side with Kannerid. Again, cross. Again, corner given. 0-0. Stoic, determined, dogged performance from Belgium, and they've had a few chances themselves. Except on our screen here, attempts 26 for Sweden and 2 for Belgium, none on target for them, 7 on target for Sweden.
Could have been 3 if Dehaney sorted her feet out inside the Sweden box.
What an opportunity. We'll go to the Rugby League in just a second, but corner kick here for Sweden. Towards the near post. Again, Belgium get the first contact. Again, swing and a miss from Natalie Bjorn. Goal kick for Belgium. 0-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Let's head to Warrington against Hull KR, watched by Dave Woods.
It's all getting dramatic. 22 points apiece now with 9 minutes left to play. Matt Pastel with a try in the 66th minute. An eye blink later, Ethan Ryan diving
Belgian
full
manager.
length to catch Jess Litton's crossfield kick. Lachlan Coote with a conversion here. Will just stay with this because if he kicks it, he's given his side a lead. Everybody's looking on. He bends his knees. He has a look again and steps back. Here he comes. The referee waves time on. And Coote with a kick, and it's going towards the sticks, and it has gone over, and Hull Kingstown Rovers lead here, 24-22.
Great stuff. Very tense here. Less drama, more tension. As Asllani tries to escape down this near side. And she's getting really frustrated. Beesmans. Well, there was a bit of pushing and shoving there, and Beesmans needs to be careful because she's already been booked, and I wonder if the manager's going to maybe think about taking her off.
Yeah, they
because that
can't.
really would be a disaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they can't afford to lose a player to a silly red card, or sorry, a second yellow, which would be silly cumulatively. But you know, sometimes, Robin, I'm telling you, it's harder to play against 10 than it is 11, and Sweden can't break them down at the moment.
Very good point. Nilden throws it down the line towards Aslani. Gets the cross in, but it's weak and it's easily cleared. Vollard tries to control. Throw in goes Sweden's way. They are kicking towards the goal to our left-hand side. And there's a banner in Swedish. And would you like to translate that, Izzy?
It says "Vise part Wembley," which means "See you at Wembley."
Well, not looking any closer for them at the moment. I'm sure it wasn't the players, but that's a confident statement from whoever put that up there. Angeldal, that's a great ball. Through the lines, and now Aslani takes aim, left-footed, closed down by Cayman. Yet another corner, showing her defensive intelligence as well, Janice Cayman.
Yeah, instinctive. Good bit of link-up play on the edge of the box there between Rolfo, Blackstenius and Aslani. They need those three to do more of that.
Corner number 10 for Sweden on this near side. It's going to be taken by Aslani. Raises her left hand in the air. Oh, that's a good one. It's a good punch by Everard, right on top of the goalkeeper. That could have gone all the way in. Yeah, stood firm.
She dealt with that really well, Everard. No doubts. No doubt at all.
What an unbelievable tournament she's had, and just underlining it today against top opposition. Sweden come again. Again, direct long ball into the box. And the header is won by Sembrant, who was up there but glanced wide. The attendance today, 7,517 inside Leigh Sports Village. Final game that they will be hosting at this Women's Euros.
Just looking now, Robin, just seeing the Belgian manager shouting instructions onto the pitch. Belgium are not playing out anymore. They're not giving Sweden any invitation to press them high. They're just kicking long. It's just all part of the game plan. It's been so clear and obvious. It's been really good to see. But yeah, no risks now from Everard. She's launched it long onto the height that she's got up there. And they're looking for flick-ons, second balls. Really going for it now, but in a very subtle way.
Dont was calling for it. She had a bit of space on this near side. That's exactly, they can do that as well. I mean, she just kicked that long. And Dekine, who's so very tall, won it easily.
Yeah, Sweden have really struggled. The two centre-backs and the midfield in front have really struggled to deal with that physicality that Belgium have offered off the long ball. I don't think Belgium are quite equipped to win that first ball and the second and create something off it. They've shown signs. Maybe they'd need another year or two in their evolution to nail that, given the profile of the Belgian player is, you know, typically quite tall.
It's literally the only thing missing from this is someone who wants to take a shot on and is decisive. This could be the substitute Dont, who takes aim into the side netting. That was a difficult chance because it was at an awkward angle. Lindahl had it covered, but why not?
Yeah, really, really turning it now. Belgium, Dont has made a massive impact down this right-hand side for Belgium since coming on, and you know that shot was not as far away as it looked. It went into the side netting. Correct option taking it early, but just got in behind alongside Eriksson, like Eriksson wasn't there. Like Eriksson, like I've seen her sweep up those situations for Chelsea for breakfast, and she's just non-existent. She looks a little bit clueless, if you ask me.
Biesmans down receiving treatment, both sets of players coming over to their benches to get some instructions. Make sure you're subscribed to the Daily Euros podcast on BBC Sounds or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll have reaction to this game and also a preview of tomorrow's match between Netherlands and France. And that'll be with you tomorrow morning. 5 Live Sport tomorrow, which is Saturday, by the way. I do need reminding which day it is. We'll bring you commentary of England women against South Africa in the T20 cricket, and that will be followed by the final quarter-final between Netherlands and France. And then Tuesday night, England against TBC. 82 minutes gone, it's still TBC. Live from Bramall Lane. 8 o'clock kickoff, we start at 7. You hear that one, Izzy?
Sorry?
You hear that one?
I will be, yes.
Excellent.
Indeed.
Because you play your pre-season friendlies about 9 a.m, don't you? So you've got plenty of time to get there for an 8 p.m. kickoff. What time do you kick off tomorrow?
11.
My word.
Behind closed doors, may I add, so
Yeah,
I don't want to be turning away a stream of fans.
Yeah.
Here comes
Because there will
Benny.
be a stream.
There will be, the loads of them, yeah. Yep.
Changes coming, and your teammates, who won't be in that pre-season friendly tomorrow. Anna Bennison coming on. Angeldal, who, well, she's had all the chances, hasn't she? But she's not had the accuracy today at all.
No, she's been good. She's been bright. You know, she's taken on shots, but I've just not really seen, I don't know, both sides of Angeldal's game, I'd say. But she's not really equipped to do the defensive work, and I think she was a little bit confused on the press. She was torn between going and staying and leaving Bjorn in that holding midfield, well, quite isolated at times.
I think if I was Belgium, I would be fearful of Bennison coming on, because, again, as Sweden toiled against Switzerland, it was heading for a draw in that second group stage game. She just banged one in the back of the net. And Everard took a chance with a loose ball out. Her first one, really, of the game as we approach the final 6 minutes. And Van Havermaet puts it out of play, safety first. But Sweden deep inside the Belgium half, trying to work something here. Neat passing move down the line from Rolfer to Nilden. Gets the cross in. Again, Belgium there first. It's Rolfer. Smashes it left-footed. It's spinning wide.
Yeah.
Again, finishing has been absolutely appalling.
Yeah, it never looked like a convincing strike. We were right behind it here. I could just see as she made contact with the ball, it was never, ever going to trouble Everard in that Belgian goal. But she did the right thing in terms of taking the shot on. I think it was there to shoot, just executed poorly. Seen her scored from that area so many times, though, over the years for Sweden and, well, Barcelona of late.
Good play from Rolfer, good strong play to win it back off Cayman. And now Aslani cuts back on her to her right boot, finds Bennison, twisting and turning, but couldn't keep her feet, and Belgium will bring it away with Minnaert. And now Woolaert. Lovely drag back and plays it out to the far side to Filtons. Over the halfway line she goes. Long ball, a little bit too much on that. Hedvig Lindahl, Sweden goal, decisive, coming out, sweeping up. And actually that long ball might work for Sweden here, but not on the same wavelength. Aslani trying the clever through ball. Blackstenius not reading it.
Yeah, Blackstenius peeled off and she was pointing, she wanted it in behind in the space, but Aslani's tried the reverse slip pass. Not read by Blackstenius, and Everard just there to clean up.
The long goal kick again won by Dekine. She's won every single header, you think, in that midfield role. Ball played all the way back to our right-hand side, and Lindahl, all in green today. Former Chelsea goalkeeper, is leaving Atletico Madrid this summer to return to her native Sweden. Here is Aslani, right side the penalty area, trying to cut inside. Biesmans is there, puts it out of play for a corner kick. Belgium ready to make another change. I do wonder if it is going to be Biesmans, who's treading a bit of a tightrope on a yellow card.
Yeah, possibly.
Cassandra Masipo getting ready to come on, but won't make the change until after the corner is taken. It's going to be an outswinger. Aslani towards Eriksson. Illerstedt got there as well. Off target, under pressure. Belgium do their job again.
Yeah, another poor set piece routine from Sweden. Eriksson with the first contact, but the flight of the ball is never gonna get enough contact on that to trouble the goalkeeper. Belgium, but Sweden just looking for ideas here.
So Julie Beesman's coming off, and Cassandra Masipo, who's got a fantastic shock of bleached hair, wearing the number 23, is switching for domestic football from the Belgian league to the Swiss league with Basel, the conclusion of the European Championships. May not be concluding yet for Belgium. Still goalless here at Leigh Sports Village as we enter the final 2 minutes of normal time. Eleanor Dont for Belgium to Tessa Woolard, back to Dont, and that was a crucial intervention from Nilden. Just got her foot in and played it off Dont, who had a really good shooting opportunity had she missed that.
Yeah, another promising sign from Belgium, just lacking that edge in the final third. But like I said, Dont having that supporting forward run from Woolard. Woolard goes for the reverse inside pass for the second run from Dont. A good bit of combination play from them two, and it ends up deflecting off Dont and going out for a goal kick. But Sweden just not on guard at all.
Belgium look the more likely, although still they haven't really forced Lindahl into anything too taxing. Into the final minute now of normal time, and we're getting into the stage where a goal now and it's game over. Here's Aslani, cutting inside, working the space. Kosabari Aslani just flies wide, promising, but off target again.
Yeah, not bad at all from Aslani, cutting inside Cayman. Just too quick for her, and she actually, the way she executed that shot, slightly off balance, but it's that textbook winger cutting inside, shaping it, curling it into the far corner. She's just off target, about a foot or two wide. But you're right, Robin, the next goal, yeah, game over. What's that from Eriksson?
Very strange from Eriksson. Dont, though, can't take advantage of that missed clearance from the Chelsea skipper. Rolfer goes long. It's going to be Everard's. It is. She claims it easily inside her penalty area. And we're about to see the board go up. See how many minutes of stoppage time they will be. We all got to hold our hands up and say we expected Sweden to win this comfortably, but magnificent display from the Belgians, competing in their knockout stage game for the first time ever. Holding the runners-up of the Olympic Games last summer. 3 minutes of time added on. Peter Gerhardsson looks ruffled, wet and frustrated. One back by Belgium in a good area. Dekine, good run by Dont. Right side the penalty area, gets the cross in, too close to Lindahl. Bowls it out quickly to Rolfer. Strides forward over the halfway line, picks up her head, looks forward to find Aslani. Again, the main outlook for Sweden, trying to make something happen, but is well shepherded by Van Havermaet. Space here for Bjorn. We turn away, sharp turn away from Dekine. Now to Aslani once again on this near side. Into Rolfer. Back to Aslani, but Van Havermaet gets her sliding tackle just right. Out for a corner kick. This could be it.
Yeah, looks like it'll be an in-swinger from Aslani. Belgium have just lined up their whole cavalry on the 6-yard line there just to say, come on then, what have you got? It's interesting because they're not player for player marking at all. Sweden, what I would say here, just play short. Play short, get the overload and just get a strike on goal.
Yeah, they've almost formed a wall on the goal line, Belgium, for this one. Aslani digs it out. Again, Everard's there. It's always in! Sweden have won it! Linda Sembrant! Finally! Sweden get on to the rebound! It's not been pretty, but Sweden have passage to the semi-finals of the Euros, surely from here. A scrappy goal, but they'll take it. Sweden 1, Belgium 0.
It's that second phase again, Robin. Belgium put everyone on the line and said, you're not going to score. The second phase, and it's come from an unlikely source in Sembrant, but who cares? Sweden do not care. they've got away with one here because they have not performed. I'm going to say it, they've not performed, but it doesn't matter. It's a sign of a good team. The first contact, everyone on the goalkeeper, it came from Blackstenius. Second ball in, was it Natalie Bjorn there? Follows it up, keeps it low, keeps it on target, Cayman off the line, and then Sembrant with the third phase. So crucial for Sweden to score that, to not have, let's just say it, extra time, unless Belgium can do something here.
Belgium throwing everything forward now, but time is not on their side. Here's Dont though. Digs out the cross. That was a good defensive intervention from the goal scorer, the match winner. As it stands, Sembrant cleared upfield. 3 minutes of pass. Full time. A puff of the cheeks from Peter Gerhardsen. They have really been made to work for this, Sweden. Belgium on the floor. Absolutely gutted. Nikki Everard, the goalkeeper, heroic for the whole 90 minutes. Is on her back. She can't believe it. Belgium were seconds away from forcing extra time against the side ranked second in the world. What a magnificent display, but it's not enough. Sweden celebrate. It'll be England against Sweden in the semi-finals on Tuesday, is it?
Wow, I feel so sorry for these Belgian players. They're like on the floor, lying down, gutted. Sweden, God, they've got away with one there, I'm telling you, Robin, they have got away with one there. Because, let's say they were the favourites to progress, yes, they were not the favourites during this game. Belgium were absolutely heroic in the way that they defended, and Everard's performance, I feel so gutted for them. But Sweden, yeah, on their march to Bramall Lane to play against England. England, yeah, I think they'll be getting who they expected.
Eventually, Sweden through to the semi-finals. It will be Sweden who play England after a last gasp winner from Linda Sembrant. Sweden 1, Belgium 0 at half-time in this quarter-final.
We will react to Sweden's victory very, very shortly. Before we do that, let's take you back to Warrington for the full-time score in Super League. Dave Woods.
Warrington 22, Hull Kingston Rovers 30. The locals can barely believe it. They're still in all kinds of relegation trouble at Warrington. They were leading 22-12 with 40 minutes left, but 3 sloppy defensive errors allowing tries for Parcell, Ryan and Dagger for a Hull Kingston Rovers win, which will take them to 6th place tonight, because on the other side of the Pennines, Hull FC are losing 42-18 at home to Castleford.
Yellow shirts embracing each other on the pitch in Lee. Sweden will play England in the semi-final of Euro 2022. Heartbreak for the Belgian players after an injury time winner for the side ranked number 2 in the world. We've got the former England striker Tash Dowie with us, former England midfielder Izzy Christensen, commentator Robin Cowan. Robin, I'm going to use a word that Izzy used during commentary of the game twice, I think. Sweden got away with one tonight.
Boy, did they. I mean, they really did. If they had faced a Belgium side who were just a little bit more attacking threat, a little bit more of a spark up front, they would have been in serious trouble. They just didn't quite make the right decisions, Belgium, but what a performance from a side that are mainly part-time. They're in a huddle now. I'm sure they're all absolutely devastated. You know, very much symmetrical to what we saw last night. Austria, you know, can hold their heads up high, but they're going to be so disappointed. Nikki Everard, by the way, has quite rightly been named player of the match. Another incredible display from the Belgian goalkeeper. Sweden are going over to celebrate with their fans, all smiles, but I think, you know, they've got a lot of work to do if they're to, you know, their performance is going to have to improve immeasurably if they're to have any chance of beating England and get to the final.
Izzy, I didn't mean to use the word former there. It wasn't my intention to retire you.
No. What about me?
Listen, you're right. Who knows? Who knows? Not off to a great start.